Hello everyone, Mr. H here again, ready to read you another story. In fact, another chapter from The Owl That Was Afraid of the Dark by Jill Tomlinson. We're up to chapter 3 now. Can you remember what happened in the first 2 chapters? Let me give you a little memory jog. The first chapter was called Dark is Exciting. Can you remember that Plop met a boy and found out about fireworks? And he thought they were fantastic. He thought they were really exciting. He said, I've got stars in my eyes. And then he met an old lady in chapter 2. And she said that dark is kind. In this chapter, Plop finds out that dark is fun. That evening, when it was getting dark, Mr. Barnow invited Plop to go hunting with him again. "Coming, son?" he said. "It's a lovely night." Not this time, thank you, Daddy," said Plop, who was sitting just outside the nest hole. "I'm busy." "You don't look busy," said Mr. Barnow. "What are you doing?" "I am busy remembering," said Plop. "I see," said his father. "In that case, I shall have to go by myself." He swooped off into the darkness like a great, silent jet aeroplane. "What are you remembering, Plop?" asked his mother. "I'm remembering that the old lady said dark is very kind, is being kind. She said that it's never lonely. She's never lonely in the dark because she has so much to remember." "Well then," said Mrs. Barnow, "this would seem to be a good moment for me to slip out and do a little hunting." "You're not going to leave me by myself?" said Plop. "I shan't be very long. I'll try to bring you back something nice." "But I shall be lonely." "No, you won't. You can just keep remembering what the old lady said." Plop watched his mother float off into the darkness like a white feather. The darkness seemed to come towards him and wrap itself around him. "Dark is kind," Plop muttered to himself. "Dark is kind. Oh dear, what shall I remember?" And he closed his eyes and tried to remember something to remember. Fireworks! He could remember the fireworks. He'd enjoyed them. The darkness had been spotted and striped and splashed with coloured lights above the glow of the bonfire. He still had stars in his eyes when he thought about it. Shouts, happy shouts, from under his tree brought Plop back in from his remembering. He opened his eyes and peered down through the leaves. There were people running around the field, and flames were flickering from a pile of sticks. Another bonfire? Did that mean more fireworks? Plop watched excitedly. He could see now that the people running around were boys, quite big boys in shorts. They were collecting more wood for the fire. Suddenly, they all disappeared into the woods with squeals and yells. All but one, that is. There was one boy left sitting on the log near the fire. Plop forgot about being afraid of the dark. He had to know what was going on. So he shut his eyes, took a deep breath, and fell off the branch. The ground was nearer than he expected it to be, and he landed with an enormous thud. "Cool," said the boy on the log. "A roly-poly pudding. Who threw that?" "Nobody threw me. I just came," said the roly-poly pudding, "and actually, I'm a bar now." "So you are," said the boy. "Have you fallen out of your nest?" Plop drew himself up as tall as he could. "I did not fall, I flew," he said. "I'm just not a good lander, that's all. I came to see if you're going to have fireworks, as a matter of fact." "Fireworks?" said the boy. "No. What made you think that?" "Well, the bonfire," said Plop. Bonfire, said the boy. This is no bonfire. This is a campfire, and I'm guarding it till the others come back. Where have they gone? Asked Plop. They've gone to play games in the dark, lucky things. Do you like playing games in the dark? Asked Plop. It's super, said the boy. Dark is fun. Even quite ordinary games like hide and seek are fun in the dark. My favourite game is one where you stand outside a home with a torch in your hand and you shine it on anything he sees or hears moving. The rest of you have to creep past him into home without being spotted. It's super. There was a crash and a yell. Scrumble got ya! Came from the wood. They're playing it now. Old Scrumble always gets caught first. He's got such big feet. You have to creep like a shadow not to be caught. Or it would be my turn to guard the fire. What's the fire for? Said Plop. Well, we cook potatoes on it, and I make cocoa, and we sing around it. What for? What for? Because it's fun. That's why, and because Boy Scouts have always had campfires. So, that what you are? A Boy Scout? Of course, silly. I wouldn't be here, would I? I must put some more wood on the fire. Plop watched the Boy Scout build up the fire. Could I be a Boy Scout? Do you think? He asked. I doubt it, said the Scout. You're a bit on the small side. I suppose you could be a cub, but you have to be 8 years old. I'm 8 weeks old, said Plop. Looks as if you'll have a long wait then. Doesn't it? Said the Scout. Anyway, he grinned, you'll look jolly silly in a uniform. Plop looked so disappointed that the Scout added, Oh, never mind. You can stay for a sing-song tonight if you like. Oh, can I? Said Plop. That would be so super. You better go home and ask your mother first, though. So Plop flew up to the nest hole and found his mother waiting. Where have you been? She said. She sounded a bit cross, like all mothers do when they're a bit worried. I've been talking to a Boy Scout, and he says dark is fun, and he says I can stay for the campfire. So can I, Mummy, please? Well, yes, all right, she said. Oh, super, said Plop. So Plop was a Boy Scout for the night. He sat on his new friend's shoulder, and he was introduced to all the others, and they made a great fuss of him, and he had a wonderful time. He did not care for cocoa, but he enjoyed a small potato. His friend blew on it to cool it down, because he knew that owls swallow their food whole, and a hot potato in the tummy would have been very uncomfortable for Plop. The Scouts huddled round the fire and sang while the sparks danced into the sky. They sang funny songs and sad songs, long songs and short songs. Plop did not sing, because he wanted to listen, but every now and then he got a bit excited and fluttered around the boys' heads, crying, Eek! Eek! And everybody laughed. They sang until the fire had sunk to a deep red glow, and Plop had turned quite pink in its light. Then it was time to go home, for the boys and for Plop. And when Plop had said goodbye to them all, and bowed until he ached, he spread his wings and flew up to the landing branch. Well, said his mother, I told you the Boy Scout said dark is fun. And what do you think, Plop? I still do not like it at all, but I think campfires are super. Did you bring me something special? I did. Plop swallowed it in one gulp. That was nice, he said. What was it? A grasshopper. I like grasshopper, said Plop. What's next? That's the end of chapter 3. What's next? Well, it's time for me to go. And if you do want to send me some pictures, then please do. reception@mospits.com. I'm still waiting for some, but I hope you enjoyed my story. See you next time. Bye.